One of the secrets to having the best experience in the garage is to have an amazing audio experience and having some decent video. Getting awesome sound, getting music in the garage is like one of my favorite things on the planet. I think it can really improve the experience when you're polishing a car, you're doing work in your sanctuary, taking great speakers, great equipment, a great TV, putting it in that space. I don't know, to me it just makes a lot of sense. So in today's video, we're gonna show you the condensed version of the different packages that I've come up with. There's just so much choice, there's so many different options, and so I've narrowed it down to a few different options to simplify this for you so you'll know what to get. I've tried 100 different combinations of systems to find the ones that I like. And so I'm able to share that with you. Hopefully there's some value to that, and then you can make a better choice. I'm not gonna lead you down the wrong path. Here's why I think it matters. Now, the garage is not an ideal listening environment. You have concrete floors, you have glass everywhere, metal. So acoustically, it's not ideal. But don't discount the fact that if we get some good speakers and we make the right choices, we can actually still end up with a really great listening experience. There is nothing better to me than jamming out to whatever I'm listening to at the time. Right now it's Chris Stapleton, Tyler Childers, and I turn on my Core 59s and my Core subwoofer, and no one's here, you know, and I just let it rip. To me, you could just put it on a set of headphones, but when you have a great subwoofer, you get that sort of tactile bass feel in the room while you're doing what I love, which is organizing a drawer, working on a car, or polishing some paint. The audio experience really sort of transports me and makes the experience much better. So I think that in life there's a progression. You know, I think it'd be a mistake if you just woke up on your 16th birthday and ended up with a 458 Speciale. You know, I think there's some benefit to that progression in life. And yes, I want this Core 59 Core sub, you know, Node Icon system in my garage. That's the goal. Should be the goal for your garage too. But there's progressive steps here. And so I had to sit down and ask myself, you know, what would I want? What would work well in selecting the right materials, the right products, putting a combination together. And so putting a set of PSB P5s in the system made a lot of sense to me. It's a metal dome tweeter, but they put a waveguide and it's ferrofluid cooled. So that tweeter is very, very controlled. It's very subdued, it's very laid back. What I don't want is a really shrill, bright, harsh experience in my harsh room. And so I found that the P5s, they punch way above their weight. Combine that with the awesomeness of Blue OS and the Power Node Edge, and then an awesome PSB subwoofer. And for a reasonable sum, still very expensive for an audio system for the garage, you really have to value it. That's what I call my basic system. It will rip your face off. Tons of headroom in really any size garage you have, but doesn't break the bank like some of these ridiculous systems I put together. So one step above that would be to get back into the studio monitor realm. The baby brother of the Cores that I have in my garage would be an LYD-8 8-inch woofer, Silk Dome tweeter, near field speaker designed for recording studios, so it does well in the garage. It's powered, and so I can combine that with the lower cost Bluesound Node. The new Node has Dirac capability, so now I can calibrate it. So I have, again, back to my near field, laid back Silk Dome, and I have room correction capability. Throw in a SVS SB2000 and you've got like that next level experience. You're gonna get quite a bit more amplitude, quite a bit more volume, quite a bit more bass from this system for a little bit more money over the base setup. Now let's say you're doing well in life, you really value an audio experience, you value your garage, you like being in there, you're willing to invest some money, but you're not willing to go to the Matt Moorman obsessed level, you know, doing these crazy, you know, Core series. I think the ultimate setup, and by the way, this is the setup I had in my studio for several years, is to do a pair of LYD-48s. So it's a three-way design. They're powered. Same thing, it checks all my boxes of near field, Silk Dome, and then we're gonna pair that with a Bluesound Node. Node has the Dirac capability, but then we're gonna throw a much more robust subwoofer into the equation and doing a Dynaudio Sub 18S. That dual 9-inch woofer, it's essentially half of the core sub that I have in my setup here. You could always add another sub. You could do multiple subs if you wanted to. But that setup there with LYD 848s is really, I mean, that's really the practical high-end system that I would recommend for a garage. If you were fortunate enough to be able to do something like that, man, you will not be disappointed. It's insane. I freaking love it. I loved it for years. I'm a little jaded now because I was able to go up to the cores, but the LYD 48s in the garage with a nice subwoofer, I could never imagine of needing anything more robust. It'll play louder than you can stand, and then when you're listening to it normal volumes, just make you smile. It's freaking awesome. So the Obsessed version, if you want what I want, this is a pair of Core 59s, tons of power. You plug them directly into the wall, and all you need is this box. All you need is a Node icon. Plug them each into the wall, plug your XLR cables in, and then if you're really going hardcore, then you end up with a Core sub in your system. Or, you know, hit me up. I'll help you design this for you. If you want to do 2 core subs, you could do two core subs. I just couldn't quite fit it in here. If you have it and you enjoy listening to music and you like your garage and you've never really considered it, I mean, I've never had anybody do it and say, man, that was a stupid idea. It's stupid until you do it, and now, man, I can't live without it. And so I have these darn speakers all over my life, and in every garage that I ever build, they go in it, and it changes the whole user experience. I'd highly recommend it. If you can afford it. It's more than double the cost of the Ultimate system. Is it more than double the audio experience? Probably not, but you start to get into diminishing returns territory when you chase Obsessed level stuff. But this is it. And I've tried probably 75 different combinations of systems, and I just keep coming back to this for my garage. It's amazing. So let me give you some alternatives. I understand even the basic system. Remember, my level of basic is like 22-year-old Matt Moorman, still obsessed. And so to get from basic, advanced, ultimate to obsessed is, out of bounds for most people, and maybe you're just not sure that having music in the garage is for you. If you just want to watch things on Netflix, I find that just putting a soundbar on the display will do music okay, but then do well for the TV. So if you're focused on TV with a little bit of music, I'm a huge fan of the Sennheiser stuff. And then Sennheiser has 3 tiers. They have a basic, advanced, ultimate. So they have one starting at under $1,000, and then this sucker here is, as of today, is $3,000. You can add a subwoofer to these as well, either wired or wireless, and so there's various options you can do. But a soundbar, I think, is a nice alternative. And then an even simpler alternative would be to do something like a Bluesound Pulse M. You can do a single Pulse M, or in a garage like this, I would put 2 Pulse M's, and you can set it up in the BlueOS app. You can set it up in stereo mode where they work together, where it's a left and a right. If you watch the Adam LZ project, I did those Pulse M's all over his house, and he loved it. I'd highly recommend those, so we carry those as well. So Pulse M would be your $500 whet your appetite. If you could muster up $1,000, do 2 of them and set them up in stereo. The app is amazing. It's full high-res streaming audio. I think you'll really enjoy that experience. It's a good start. And so those things I do have available. They're on the site. You can check them out, and we have some videos explaining how those work and why you might want to consider them. So here's some tips I have to get the best experience out of your audio system. The first thing is to do some sort of isolation stand. All of our packages come with a isoacoustic, the appropriately sized isoacoustic stand, which will decouple your speaker from either your metal cabinet or your stainless countertop or your wooden countertop. It'll decouple the speaker and help make it sound a little better. Another thing to do is to, again, if you're choosing our packages, I've already chosen this for you, but you want to choose something that is smoother, more laid back. And so choosing something like Dynaudio or choosing a studio monitor makes a lot of sense. and then you do want to spend the time using the software and do a calibration on the system. It'll change how the whole system experiences all the resonance and all the vibration and stuff in your garage. It'll help tone it down, and then you can dial it in the way you like. It's very easy to do. Doing that calibration makes a big difference in the system performance. I know I'm asking you to take my word for it here, but there is nothing better than having an amazing audio experience in a garage when you're spending it with your cars, or spending it organizing or detailing, or whatever it is that you do in the garage. I do a little bit of everything in here, and being able to listen to music, being able to watch TV, being able to kind of be essentially in my living room but in my garage makes the whole user experience of the garage next level. I couldn't live without it. And so I put together these systems for you to make it simple. It's not cheap. Choose one of the options. It really just comes down to money. The more money you spend, the better it's going to sound. It's really that simple. But if you chose the basic, if you chose a Pulse M or an Ambeo soundbar and just stuck with that, I think you're going to end up with a much better experience in the garage. So audio, video, I know doesn't make a lot of sense to most people, but us obsessed people, we don't make a lot of sense to most people. So if you want to level up your user experience, level up your experience, your time in the garage, get yourself some awesome audio, get yourself a nice TV, and it'll make the whole time you spend there much better. If this video or this concept of audio in the garage is interesting to you, or maybe you want a custom vacuum system or some sort of pressure washing solution, or designing an entire garage like this, hit us up. Go to design@obsessedgarage.com. You can send us an email or go to the design tab at the top of our website. We're happy to help and love to help you make your garage an excellent space. I know that audio, video in the garage seems out of place, but to me, I can't live without it. So, as always, I appreciate you being here, and we'll see you on the next video.